Hey friends, I hope you're having an amazing day. I actually tried to make two other videos before this and I just felt so uncomfortable. And I don't know why. I guess it's because the other two videos all had to do with money. And for some reason, it might be my upbringing. I'm just uncomfortable talking about it. Like, the first video was about recently I made money in stocks and I wanted to share my strategy and just what my outlook is on investments because I feel like it's very important to invest in money in the long term so that your money can work for you, right? And I wanted to share my strategies and my story of what I learned, but I just felt so uncomfortable talking about it. And I was like, okay, maybe if I don't talk about money I made, what if I talk about money that I spent? So recently, my girlfriend and I have been wondering, we're making money, but we just don't know where we're spending it. So we decided to do our finances today. And I was going to share the breakdown of how we went about, okay, non-essentials to essentials. What are we actually spending our money on? And what can we change so that we can manage our money better? Nope. I felt uncomfortable talking about that as well. So it must have been some upbringing where my parents, I remember, pretty much just always reminded me and my brother at least for me, to stay humble. Didn't matter how much money we're making, stay humble. Don't let other people know. They're going to judge you. They're going to say you're showing off. If you're not making any money, don't let other people know. They're going to think you're poor. They're going to judge you. So I just have this barrier with money, and it's so hard to talk about. And so those were the actual topics I wanted to talk about today because I thought hopefully they would bring some value, and I can't. So instead, I decided I want to share or recommend a book that I really, really love about money that's changed my mindset. And I hope that if you've never read it before, you guys can take a look because it's an amazing book. It has nothing to do with me. I don't make any money from it. I just think it's a good book, and it's written in like a story form, so it's not boring. It's a story. The book is called The Richest Man in Babylon. I don't remember who it's by exactly. However, I can write that in the description. Basically, my mindset of money before was always to just save, right? Don't spend too much money. Whenever I make money, put some money away and just put it in the bank, never touch it again. Keep doing that. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And then occasionally splurge a little bit. However, this book taught me so much because for the most part, if you're just saving money in your bank account, basically with inflation, we're always losing money. So it's important to put it either in a long-term savings account where the interest is higher, bonds, other investments as well, doesn't matter. But anyway, in this book, they break it down how these people were slaves. It starts out with these two slaves, and one is just always spending what he makes. And then the other slave really wanted to improve. So it didn't matter how much the slave made. So it could be like 10 cents because the slaves are barely making any money, right? So the slave would save like 8 out of the 10 cents and only spend 2 cents. And then as time went on, eventually the 8 cents, 10 cents turned into dollars, and dollars turned into 10, and $10 turned into 100. And eventually this person bought his own freedom while the other slave, after like 10 years, 20 years, was still remain in the same position. And it taught me that it didn't matter how little I was saving to invest as long as I was doing it. It would make a huge difference with compound interest. So it's really every penny counts, and you want your money to work for you. So the way that the book wrote it is you want to always pay yourself first whenever you make money, like a salary or a job, or it doesn't matter. And I thought that was super interesting because usually when I think about paying myself, that means, okay, I'm going to go shopping. I'm going to buy my new iPhone. I'm going to buy my new thing, right? But what he means by paying yourself first is this money is yours forever. You're going to make this money work for you. And this money is going to be like its own manager, and then it's going to make more money, and then that new money that the money makes is going to make more money, and it's just going to keep growing and then compound until you have a lot of money. And the way he did this was by, I think he did it through loans. So back in the day, the story is held in like really, really long time ago, and then they had slaves, and basically they had these places where people would go to borrow money, and then they would it's like a pawn shop. They would put their item, and then they would come back to either pay interest, pay the money back, or to get their item back. And it was always about safe investments. Like in the story, there's a lot of morals where someone tried to take a shortcut. They heard something that was too good to be true, but he could make a lot of money really fast. And of course, that person lost all their money, while the other person just, slow and steady, but at a consistent pace, and just kept making money. And eventually that person became the richest person in Babylon. So I learned so much from it, because I just never realized that every little bit, if you just compound it after a long time, it makes a huge difference. And for me, there's so many different types of investments people can make, right? So one of my favorites is like an index fund. I'm not sure if they have it in Malaysia or Southeast Asia, but it's basically a mixture of all these different stocks, especially the best ones. And then over the long term, it's historically gone up. So it's relatively safe, especially if you're investing for the long term. So that's one of my favorites, as well as just a couple certain stocks that I really enjoy. I really love their company, so I invest there. And it doesn't really matter what you pick. Perhaps you choose bonds. That's where you lend the money to the government, so the money is backed by the government. As long as the country is in good shape, they'll pay you back. Or a high interest savings account, or invest in your own business, invest in yourself. Any of that I feel like is so important. So that's just what I learned. I wanted to share that book because I'm so uncomfortable talking about money. Like, I think just even sharing what I just shared right now didn't feel like that natural. Other stuff, mental stuff, how to make movies, how to make content, all that I'm so comfortable talking about. And this is something I want to break through, but it's a barrier that I still have. Do any of you have like that sort of barrier as well, where it's maybe a little bit hard for you to talk about how much money you're actually making, or how much you're actually spending, or how you do your finances, what type of investments you make? Because I see there are people that share this advice, and this is not a finance channel, but I see people sharing this advice and they do it so comfortably. And when I'm watching it, I'm actually gaining a lot of value. I don't feel any condescending way from them at all. They may be making a lot of money. I don't feel like they're showing off. I actually learn stuff from them, and I actually want to apply it to my own life. And it just feels so weird that it feels uncomfortable. I don't know if that makes any sense. So that's that. I hope this video brought you some value. Go check out the book if you haven't already. I think there's an audio book for those of you that do not like to read, where you can just listen to it while you're working out, you're doing laundry, whatever. Personally, I like to listen to audiobooks at like 2 times the speed. And that's just me, but it depends how fast you can take in the information, right? So that's it. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Drop a like for support. Leave a comment down below. Let me know how your day's been. Let me know your outlook on money. Let me know whatever. Okay. I will see you guys in the next one. Love you all so much. Take care.